asking him questions, all in a challenging mood.
I want to know.
Like Mr. Bhosky, you are my God sister. I'd like to hear with so much harmony. Please you remember something. Remember, I remember something to see you. Right. That once in my young age, I also was some police officer.
He has also been police officer.
Yes.
Yeah. With a big stick. Wait, but
No, sister.
Oh, my
Riding on the horses.
all right.
Yes, riding on horse and keeping pistol.
All right. It's a friend is a priest, Chris Warren at Boreham Wood Street Station, who goes to India every other year, and he stays for about 6 weeks.
You should try to meet me. I'll be so glad if you are there.
I'll try and get us to come up here. How long?
It's also come to India.
Yeah, my wife's more into hotels than you know.
Many devotees over the years in ISKCON have felt a lack of warmth and a lack of Krishna-centeredness. Still, I and others who I have spoken to feel that just as the child's shoe represents the child, so ISKCON institution represents Prabhupada. You have come to help ISKCON, but many devotees feel disturbed by the apparent difference in some of the details of practicing devotional service. And it may cause more diversity than unity.
One question. I want to state the truth that it is very hard to understand any bona fide guru, almost politician. When he is matured in all senses, and then he will be equal to his Gurudev's mood. Then he can realize the moods of his Gurudev. It has been told in our Shastra, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to tell us, you should have to be a Deva, God, and then you can understand the moods of God. So I think the disciples of Swami, those who are senior and served Swami, and they were trying to know him and his heart and mood, they have been checked, controlled by unbona fide disciples. So they are not clearly realizing the most of Swami. And that is why they are telling that the superior persons which are knowing the hearts and moods of Swamiji, they should descend more in our category. They are not killing these. They themselves go up and try to realize Swamiji mode. They have not gone to their book, to Swamiji's books. Only outwardly they have seen him. Some are trying to know the modes of Swamiji, but not all. To Chaparral. So, I think what I have seen him, realized him in our disciplic line. For 50 years in this movement, with Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, they are so qualified disciples, and also to Swamiji, I was in a very close contact with him. So what I have realized him, perhaps they have not realized so much. They have no facilities to know the modes of Swamiji. He has written in his books everything, but they have not carefully and deeply went through the book. I will show by his only versions and by his writing in his book that I am the same line what I am telling to improve their knowledge. But they think that I should be dragged lower in their category. But they should go up to understand the modes of Swamiji. If anything I am telling different to Swamiji, they can tell what I am telling different to Swamiji. But I am telling that they are different from Swamiji. I will prove it out. But I am not going in this spirit. I want harmony to help to take them up to understand. It is apparent that all disciples of any bona fide guru cannot understand their interior heart, and so very rare can follow them. I am thinking they are outwardly they have seen Swamiji. Some of them have tried to go nearer his heart, but those who have wanted to realize him more, but they are now controlled so much to strike I will go. They don't want to be harmony with them. Those who are seniors, not in age and not in disciple, in diksha, but it not depends on seniority in years. Devotional things and paramarthic, spiritual things, they don't. They realize by seniority of age, seniority of learning so much, seniority of being with him. It depends on the what they have surrendered how they have surrendered, and internally how they have served him. It depends on that. Any worldly knowledge cannot know all these things. It is apparent. So we should try to have an answer from the books of Swamiji. They tell that you are in different moods about Jiva. But I am telling in the past that in part line he was about Jiva Tattva, Krishna Tattva, Maya Tattva, loving, affection, devotion, sadhana. Same, not a different this. We can take first as a Jiva Tattva. This I cannot so-called devotees, but I can tell that those who have outwardly heard him, they tell that Jiva has come from Golokam. In Chaitanya Charitamrita or in anywhere, Swamiji has told like this, but not has told so. But anything cannot be taken as the proof or any evidence or any solid truth. We'll have to judge it by 6 fundamental characteristics. Upakram, Upasanghat, Arthavad, Abhyas, Arthapatti, and Sansar. Anyone, Jasodama is telling that Krishna is Chor. He is thief. We'll have to not take this as a fundamental truth. We'll have to judge by where in Srimad Bhagavatam told in various places like this. No? At last it is then told that he chose. In the beginning it has been told so. And in conclusion it has come that he chose. Then you will know that he chose. But we see that anywhere not like. It is like a joke. So it cannot be taken back. In Srimad Bhagavat it has been told that Krishna is chose. Similarly, he has told that Jiva has come from Golokam. In the beginning, all tutors, all the Paramathic, spiritual masters, holy masters, we also, our Guru Maharaj also, Prabhupada has also told that Krishna Bhuli Sevi Ji, Anadi Bahirmukh, in Chaitanya Chaitanya. We explain like this that Krishna, Jiva has forgotten Krishna. What forgotten? From where forgotten? Ordinarily, or in a common telling, it will be told, oh, he used to know Krishna. He was with Krishna, serving with Krishna, then he forgot. Those who are reading ABCD, they must be told like so. Otherwise they will never know the truth. After some time hearing, then we will tell that Jeev has come from a middle place that is called Darsana. No? Where Narayan, Karnabdishai Vishnu from Darsana. When more matured, then we will see that Jeev has never come out from anywhere. The rays and sun, they are both permanent, eternal. So Jivas are eternal, Krishna is eternal. Only this Shakti has been told for beginners. Like a rays and sun, they have some relation. So there are two kinds of Jivas. Those who never saw this world, and those who never saw that world, never can. You should begin my note. Well, I will have not to answer in this. The lines of Swamiji will answer you, and you have surely prayed by seeing the explanation or purpose of Swami. And you will yourself judge that I am telling. And Swamiji is telling truth. No different. In this case, in any case, they are seeing difference. But a guru in the beginning is different from when the disciples are matured and they hear their guru. And they say, oh, this study is different. But not different. One platform, one next platform, and other seed, and then fruits. Fruits are non-different to this seed. But if anyone tells that, oh, seeds are different from the fruit, then we will see, understand that he is not so much intelligent. Like a boy and child, he is different. You should raise somehow different. But I am clearing only the same thing and giving them what he wanted to say you, what he wanted to give you, but you have not understand. Now you should understand. This is my mode of telling or you should hear.
You said just a few quotes. There's many more. We only started compiling them yesterday.
I'll give you a note to help.
From the third canto, chapter 15:48.
Yes, sir.
They're all short excerpts from different purports. This is from third canto, chapter 15, text 48.
You are hearing? Oh.
From Vedic scriptures, it is understood that sometimes even Brahma and Indra fall down, but a devotee in the transcendental abode of the Lord never falls. Then, from 3:16:26, the Lord replied, purport. The conclusion is
Purport.
Yeah.
Written by Srimad Prabhupada.
These are all excerpts from Prabhupada's purport. The conclusion is that no
you
one...
should go and see the book.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you have not seen all these things very carefully and deeply. Now you should take this note and see. And then you should realize that what I am telling, Prabhupada was telling. Read on.
The conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha, for it is the eternal abode.
Very धीरे धीरे. Again.
The conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha, for it is the eternal abode. Next is from 5th Canto, Chapter 11, Text 12. This ordinary living being is of two kinds, Nitya Baddha or Nitya Mukta. One is eternally conditioned, and the other is eternally liberated. The eternally liberated living beings are in Vaikuntha Jagat, the spiritual world, and they never fall into the material world. Next, this is from 7th Canto, 1st Chapter 34. I'm going to read the text also because the text itself discusses the same question. Maharaj Yudhisthira inquired, what kind of great curse could affect even liberated Vishnu Bhaktas, and what sort of person could curse even the Lord's associates? For unflinching devotees of the Lord to fall again to this material world is impossible. I cannot believe this.
He cannot believe. He has believed.
Yeah, this is Yudhisthira.
Anyone cannot listen.
And this is the purport. In Bhagavad Gita 8:16, the Lord clearly states, Mam upetya tu kaunteya punarajanma navidyate. One who is purified of material contamination and returns home back to Godhead does not return to this material world. Elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita 4:9, Krishna says, Janma karma tame divyam evam yoviti tatvata taktva deham punarajanma naiti mam iti swarajana. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Maharaj Yudhisthira, therefore, was surprised that a pure devotee could return to this material world. This is a very important question. And in the next text, the bodies of the inhabitants of Vaikuntha are completely spiritual, having nothing to do with the material body, senses, or life air. Therefore, kindly explain how associates of the personality of Godhead were cursed to descend in material bodies like persons. Purport. Therefore, it is to be understood that when Jai and Vijay descended to this material world, they came because there was something to be done for the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes.
Otherwise, it is a fact that no one falls from Vaikuntha.
Yes. You understand? Jai Vijay has not fallen. They have not been fall down from there. They knew that their master wants to have a taste of deer rush.
People were fighting.
No?
Fighting.
He has tasted all things. Now he wants to taste a deer rush. Fighting mood. They knew that is it. Oh, our Prabhu is in a problem. This is all. He wants to test. So I should fight with them. We should fight with them. But we cannot fight in friendly terms. So we should be opposite. How it be? Without Prabhu, we cannot be opposite. So they prayed to Prabhu. Prabhu said, yes, I will give chance. So he called Chatursan, son of Sanat. They did not come to their own any purpose. They came called by Narayan, by inspiration of Narayan Devi. And he get Jog Maya to do so that they became angry with these two Jadijas, and they caused curses that go for 3 but there and beat them. And they become so bad. But outwardly they were वो बहाना बना रहे थे. How outwardly they were showing that if they are so much unhappy. At once Prabhu came and told that, no, don't be worried. Also to Sanat Sanandam, Sanat Kumar, also to them. By Jog Maya, by my wish, I wanted to wrestle and to test the rush, so I asked and then this. In one form, Jaya was present in Vaikuntha, and other manifestations he came and took free. And it was only a time for a moment, coming and going. There, 1 minute, it means how much we cannot calculate. So when they came for seed, but it was a minute or second, and it passed. They again went to Vaikuntha and they met in their
original form.
So he tells you. So there must be some explanation to understand the views of Swamiji, the notes of Swamiji. Anyone cannot go without who has understood it. We have so much, we were so much lucky in past years, past birth also. And also we have so much gained from our Guruji and all others from Swamiji. We can go deep. Now I see that they cannot go because they are all controlled. Bhakti cannot be controlled by all this. So they should be proud to enter the modes of Swami. Now again, sir.
That's one important one here. Gurudev explains that after attaining, if one attains Bhava Bhakti in this life and gets his Swarup Siddhi, then he can go to where Krishna is performing his pastimes in the material world and meet Krishna for the first time. And Srila Prabhupada confirms that in this statement from the Krishna book. The mature devotees who have completely executed Krishna consciousness are immediately transferred to the universe where Krishna is appearing. In that universe, the devotees get their first opportunity to associate with Krishna personally and directly. That's from Krishna book, chapter 28.
Also, I have written some important.
And there's another quote here.
I know so many written in the writings of Swamiji. In Krishna book, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Srimad Bhagavad, and he has quoted the view of Jiva Goswami. Where is that? Jiva Goswami has. I know very past years of all these things from Jiva Goswami, that's because I have read from my Guru the Java. So, I have not given in this because I want to answer you in the same language and writing of Swami. What Rupa Goswami has told, what Baldev Vidyabhushan has told, what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has told, what Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati and Bhakti Vinod Bhai has told about this. In Jaiva Dharma, I know so much that they cannot go there. So, I tell in harmony that I am in the same line, telling everything in the same line, same way. I want to glorify Swamiji by all these things. They have not realized what he wanted to tell, but they are fearing that I am telling other line. Our whole masters, disciplic orders Acharya, were in the same line, and I think he was in the same line. What Prabhupada told, he has told. Not all, some part. What I am telling, I cannot tell in whole my Guru's voice. Only very little. So easy. as a belief that I am not telling anything different. You can tell anything, but perhaps you are with me here in 10 days. What I have told, that it is against the principles of Swamiji, or against Srimad Bhagavatam, or I have told so high things of gopis, Rasa, what I have told. Anyone cannot give any example from my lecture, classes. If there were some experienced persons and high persons knowing all deeply, then I would have told so many things. So many things. They cannot dream, they cannot reach in hundreds, but I know this. Swamiji used to love me, affect me, and he wanted to be with me. Why? He used to see me as the equal in every respect. But I don't feel that I am equal. I was only dust of his Lord. But he wanted to reward me. He apologized me. I am not qualified to be apologized. But he told like this. As a friendly matter, a friend can do like this. But they are not recognized. You can tell. You are satisfied by these answers and by this hearing? Any doubt? You can take one. I will tell them to give the copy and you can see the books first. I think that you have no chance to go all these things. But now you will realize. So, any God brother, like the Shiksha Guru is required. Without Shiksha Guru, we cannot know the modes of Diksha Guru. Because they are in same level, they can. A devotee cannot, third class devotee cannot make a...
I was just going to say that when you started to explain this, I was a little confused because this was not one of my questions, nor had this subject I really thought about. But I was thinking that maybe this was said to me because although I never thought of this particular aspect, it didn't worry me so much. But if someone, maybe from BBC or someone said, oh, he is saying different about this subject matter, then I might have thought. So maybe this is why it's explained to me.
This was not one of her questions, the Jiva Tattva issue.
No, I told...
But she understands that you said it for a purpose. If anyone or the BBC says anything, now they know what to say, because you have given this answer kindly. And
I may have done.
In the future, if anyone says to the devotees that Srila Narayan Maharaj has a different point of view on this issue, now they have your tape and they know what to say.
I request you to know that not only in this, any subject, you should believe me that I am not of difference. It is, they have been misguided and not gone through his books, but merely books will not do anything. By Shiksha Guru, we can know all this. That is why in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, it has been told that Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru both are Swarup of Krishna. So we should try. We should not deny the existence of Shiksha Guru. Then what is she telling?
We have heard that you give first and second initiations without the need to follow the rules and regulations.
This is quite false. False as in safed.
Clear.
Quite right. White. White safed. White wrong. Anything. You can realize by this thing that my disciples never have not failed. But why their disciples are going? What if they are not bona fide? My disciples, myself, I chant 1 lakh Harinam daily. I should not tell. But I am telling only for your knowing. And I think that you can tell, ask him. But to speak of my devotee, when he comes in my touch, all came in my touch, they began to chant 1 lakh, not less than 50. They may be wrong in any case, but I cannot be. I have so much faith like Swamiji in Krishna. He told that I will give the facilities of boarding persons to take meat, eggs and everything. And after that they will be bona fide. So I have confidence in me that when I will see anyone, I can judge that he is bona fide or not. So I give any. You can see any my disciples that they are taking eggs, wine, pyaj, lasun or anything. All used to try to complete Hari name in 50,000, more than that. Some are chanting. You can ask anyone, my disciples who are here. So it is quite false. Only they are propagating them, and by doing so, they are doing some kinds of opera to do or speak against any Vaishnava. It is quite true. I have come from Swamiji Bhakti Vedanta Swami and Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, who was the
Sannyas Guru.
He has seen anything, a specialty in our Gurudev. That is, he took his sannyas Guru. And he wanted so me, he loved me, he accepted. I served so much as my bosom friend and Shiksha Guru. I think they have not done for fun that. So, if I am in my Guru line, all the Gaudiya Vaishnava, except these only some persons, they never told like this. Those who are with me, so many acharyas are with me, Vaman Maharaj, Tirth Maharaj, Tribikram Maharaj, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Gopal, all do. Why they do? If I am doing so silly things and against Shastra, why they do like this? Charu Maharaj, I see that he is a very orphan boy. When I
Show affection.
I give him my affection and love to him, like a very small child. And how to do the service of Swami? I've teached that boy. He was like a boy with when I saw him. Swamiji told in his last words, you should hear and try to follow. Why he told? So they are all doing propaganda, and what those are doing who has not met any time with me, only they.
I think she doesn't understand when you mean. You mean that when Prabhupada was on his disappearance bed in Vrindavan, he told Bhakti True Maharaj and the other sannyasis, listen to what I have to say. And at that time he asked Srinarayan Maharaj, now I have collected many monkeys, they know how to fight, so you please pick them up and make them good devotees.
Charuma is like a very little boy in my view, but I honor Bhakt because he has done so much service to son. But even now, when he meets, it seems that he is my little boy, like son. I think all of them like this. Where is now Australian? One. All others. But I am still serving Swamiji. What process? More. So they are not understanding you. Perhaps some material gain and loss has come in their mind, not spiritual. So I pray to Prabhupada and Krishna that this give inspiration to think and to see my words and my all these things in favorable of Swami, to illuminate the views of Swami. I am not going to tell anything new. There is nothing new with me. All are old things coming from Brahma. Swami has not told anything new. From the same bottle he has given, and from the same bottle I want to give and give it. We have nothing. Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has never told anything new. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, all are new. Bottles are new, but the wine is the same. They should not understand.
Another question? Do you reinitiate disciples of ISKCON gurus?
Quite false thing. All false thing. Only propaganda. And this propaganda is not propaganda, but all offensive. I never. They can give any extent that I have done, they can tell us. They can show me any their disciples. I have told her that I will not tell you Jaduvan. It brings some pain in my heart. So I am not changing your name, but I will call you Shyamran. It will give me so peace, so happy. That is I called him. You can ask whether I have given him any new initiation or anything. You can ask. He has come from Sattar Maharaj. You can ask that I have given new initiation or anything to anyone. You can call and see yourself. Don't believe in propaganda. All is false, quite false. Do you believe in my words? Again, go on. It is clear?
Yes.
You should not have believed in them. I request you, don't believe in their propaganda. You can research whether I have really initiated any one of ISKCON.
Well, what I was just saying is that I'm not repeating things that the authorities in ISKCON have told me, just what's being said amongst the men.
She said it's not the authorities
I'm
who
not saying
said that.
I'm saying it, maybe I did.
She's just hearing it from devotees
No,
around.
you should not believe third-class devotees. No? You should not believe the third-class bogus devotees.
Well, we fucking ourselves.
You should,
I believe you.
you should inquire yourself.
That's why we're here.
That you should ask who is the person to whom Narayan Maharaj has initiated it is initiated by him. You should note the name and inquire yourself to that devotee. That's where I have done. I have so many proofs that so many persons came to me from ISKCON, giving ISKCON, ISKCON, because their because their gurus has fall down. About hundreds of persons came to me. I told that I will be your Shiksha Guru. Follow my words and go to ISKCON and select any qualified guru and go to them. And I have done about hundreds like so, to Tamal Krishna, to Govinda Maharaj, to Shivaram Prabhu, Shivaram Maharaj, and all others I have done like so. And if you like know the names of them, I can tell. This is needed. So many. They wanted to take me sannyas from myself. I told you, no, I will only be honored by your Shiksha Guru or your helper one. I don't want to have any disciples. If I wanted, I have done hundreds and thousands of disciples in India. And all the acharyas of Gaudiya Math, all the disciples honor me more than their guru. So much honor. Why should I hanker to give them if they are related to ISKCON? I will never do, I have never done. I am never doing.
Prabhupada always advised caution and care in discussing Radha Krishna Ras Leela. This was to combat taking them cheaply. Apparently, you discuss these pastimes more openly than Prabhupada did. I always understood that Lord Chaitanya only discussed these pastimes with 3.5 associates who were elevated devotees. This confuses me, as many of us still seem quite entangled in the modes of material nature. So when does one become qualified to hear these pastimes?
Have you attended my classes here?
Yes.
What I have told about Ras?
No, you haven't, Maharaj.
You have heard anything about Ras that I have told?
One young devotee.
I don't want to tell any other. What I have told
I
you.
haven't. I've only heard.
Okay, call any of the members. I am here Holland 10 days, here 10 days. Where I have told like this. Only this is also a propaganda and very false things, stupid things to tell. You can quote any word that I have told, but I tell what Prabhupada has told, that our goal should be the Braj Prem. Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayat Tattdham Vrindavan Ramya Kachitupasana Padupadu Vargain Jakalpita. Amongst the all kinds of services to Krishna, the service of gopis are high. If we are not telling this, that we are not bona fide devotees. We must tell this. But what I am told that Krishna has something catch of gopis, what I have told like this. But I know that when they are not in touch of my soul, Govinda Lila Mrita, Krishna Bhavana Mrita, Vilap Pushmanjali, and other books of Swamiji which are under lock and key, we don't tell anything. All have been published and they were to each devotee. How can this? Who did these silly things? That should be questioned. I have not told anywhere like this. But I tell that the frame of gopis are highest. And Swamiji has told everywhere in their books. Everywhere. Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swamiji, our Gurudev, our disciples order. All have told this requires nothing, any qualification, only Sabdhani. That gopis are highest. 5 kinds of servants of Krishna, among them gopis are highest. This cannot be told. Can we not tell this thing? Why not? What are the objects of our bhakti, sadhan bhakti? It cannot be told that a gopi friend. What heart? It requires no qualification, nothing, only sadhani. I am telling how Krishna stole Makhan and how Jasoda Devi was finding Krishna. There are so many siddhants in 2 angles. Taking it. Always 2 fragrance lace. First rounding, second rounding, third rounding, always 5 2, not 3 or 4. We cannot say to disciples or any those who have Shraddha, can we not say these things?
No matter how much you try to bind to it,
we cannot. In the classes, I live in Mathura, in Vrindavan. They are of very high grades. You are seeing here this boy, that boy, also this boy, but you are not knowing. If I tell them to stand up and say anything, they will tell more clearly all these siddhants more than any of ISKCON leaders. I know this fact. If you will have a chance to hear them, you can hear how beautifully they will tell. ISKCON leaders cannot tell. They will tell only, oh, give up this, give up this. They are very special to tell all this. And we will tell something, what? Not negative, but positive side. Hare Bhakti, Nishtha, all these things. We will try to develop their Shraddha, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, by always telling them Hari Katha, so that mind should not be like a guru and go to others. That is the difference, but now ISKCON devotees and in my line. Not in my line, our line of Gaudiya Dhara and Swamiji Dhara. Swamiji Maharaj was devotees, but they were so much affected by all these things that he used to tell lies. So, you are not the same devotees when you are beginning. About 15, 20, 40 years before. Now has increased your something knowing all this. I don't have any need to tell you that you should give it wine, woman, no, wealth. I know that you are following all these rules. Why should I waste my time? I will tell something which is positive, will increase your devotion and everything. So I do in the line of. In India, no, nothing to tell about this in Braja, especially that don't take eggs, don't. Anyone does not take. Why I should tell you? So this is the difference. But no difference.
Okay. Can I read one quote that
Yes,
is appropriate?
Yes.
Just many devotees say that we shouldn't read anything other than Prabhupada's books. And he's given a nice quote here in this connection. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes.
Siddhanta Baliyat Chitte Nakara Alas Iha Hoite Krishna Lagi Sudrida Manas. This is Adi Lila 2, 1, 17. This is from the purport. False devotees, lacking the conclusion of transcendental knowledge, think that artificially shedding tears will deliver them. Similarly, other false devotees think that studying books of the previous acharyas is unadvisable, like studying dry empiric philosophies. But Srila Jiva Goswami, following the previous acharyas, has inculcated the conclusions of the scriptures in the 6th thesis called the Shatsandarbhas. False devotees who have very little knowledge of such conclusions fail to achieve pure devotion for want of zeal in accepting the favorable directions for devotional service given by self-realized devotees. Such false devotees are like impersonalists who also consider devotional service no better than ordinary fruitive actions.
These are apparent things, so apparent, but we don't read all these things. We have no taste in reading and going deep. That is the disease. Disease. That is disease. Like what disease? That cannot be cured?
Cancer. AIDS. Cancer.
Cancer and
Cancer.
And why AIDS? They are spreading all this rubbish there.
Now you take prasad now. 1 hour has been fast. 1 hour. 1 hour past? Yes. More than 1 hour.
Went in 2 minutes. You want to? Here, her questions have been all. I think that most of them have been answered.
Very humbly, why waste time teaching, not to take eggs and, intoxication. So why?
Go ahead.
So why did Prabhupada seem to think it was very necessary for this day and age, for the preaching mood? He seemed to think it was very necessary to preach these particular things over and over again.
He's saying to devotees who have already, accepted devotional service, they've heard these things already.
You should understand.
You have all the things before.
Yes. That is why misguiding comes.
Misunderstanding.
See, he lives in Mathura. In Mathura and in Vrindavan, people don't do that.
No, but I mean, when you initiate Western devotees here,
I have told all these things. Those who are beginners, it will be told shortly. Other platform will not come. But in Vrindavan, no use of friends. All they don't know. They're above that platform. Having so much affection for Krishna and Radhika, They don't tell Krishna, Radhe, 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 Radhe.
And people also call you, open the door.
I think that they are more superior than myself. Once I was taking parikrama of Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. Have you gone there? Radha Damodar temple, where Prabhupada used to live. I was alone in the midday, about 11. There was a lady, she was going forward and I was going after her. She was saying, alone. Oh Radhe, oh Radhe, oh Radhe. She understood. And oh Radhe, oh Radhe. None was seen. It was not artificial. I took the dust of that lady's feet. Oh, you are so hard. I give lecture, but you cannot give lecture. But your devotion is so superior than myself. I will have to take birth to be like you. So that devotion is like so. In Mathura I go to some places. They call me very honored. But when I go and I see their kirtans, the moves of kirtan, their reading, I become really how they are so above than myself. So I used to give honor and chori karke, by stealing, not any person to know that I am taking that. Daily I go to whole Braja and take the dust of everywhere I go. Daily. How a common person can know all my feelings? I don't want to express all these ideas to you.
You have a question?
Yes.
Just one question. And again, this could just be some more propaganda. I don't know. But I heard from the masses that when all big devotees of ISKCON were coming to you, like Jamal Krishna and Shivam and all those were coming, so many were coming, even some ladies, persons were saying that you were giving their swarup and giving them
quite false.
gopi names.
I have never given to anyone. Anyone can prove this is quite false, as I have told you.
Yeah.
Anyone can tell? Can anyone tell that I have given that gopi name and all others' names? And Siddhade? They are so much dear to me, all. To anyone, any disciple, it is quite false. Nothing false will be like this false. Only propaganda to show me that, he is so.
They want to discredit me.
No, they want to gather their offense only. Collecting offense. They are not knowing, they are ignorant. I don't know my Siddha name. I pray only, but I pray that, Srimati Radha. In your register, note my name as your servant. That any day, in any birth, I will be like you. I also pray to Krishna, Shyam Sundar Tikhand Shekhar Shmera Hat Murli Manohar Radhika Rasik Man Kripa Nidhe Swa Priya Charane Chinkari Karu. I pray to Shyam Sundar that, Shyam Sundar, if you please to me and you want to give me any
benediction,
then please note in the register that please keep me as a Palyadasi of Srimati Radha. This I do. But I don't tell to any person. I have told, I am telling only to believe my word.
For many years, she has not taken shelter of another guru to take diksha, but for many years she's been serving. And some devotees are telling that because she has not taken another diksha guru, that her service is worthless.
I cannot say like this. An opinion of like Shastra, what is has told by our disciplic Acharya and in Srimad Bhagavad, in our Gau Parikar, that if anything falls, then we should give up. Then our faith will not be to him. So we should wait and see a very bona fide guru. And by accepting him, or any Siksha Guru, if we have not faith on anyone, we should wait and pray Krishna that he will arrange. And if you are not satisfied by the character of that any guru, we should not take him as a Siksha Guru. So in cases, in ISKCON cases, I have told the devotees that you should praise Swamiji as your Siksha Guru. No? Because in the Siksha Guru, not this, Siksha Guru. And try to develop your mood and pray him and Krishna that he should manage a very bona fide guru, so that I will have not to repent that again I have done, again my guru has failed. Again I am doing, again my guru. So wait little and see a bona fide guru. Without having a Diksha Guru, it is fine, and we are not doing it. Then something like, and we cannot come in order. We cannot totally follow anyone. So Diksha Guru is needed. So in our disciplic order, it has been told that we should change, we should give up that fallen guru, and we should do. But his chanting, his devotional action will not go in vain. It is to some extent they will help us to have a bona fide guru, and really Krishna will manage and Krishna will accept. If anyone has not any Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru, nothing, but he is telling Krishna, 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 it will go in vain? I think no. Because Ajamil has no Guru, and he told for his putra, son, Narayan. At once they came and told how to have Krishna service, Narayan service. And they were mrityu se bacha liye gaye,
saved from death.
Saved from the death. And again he heard all these talks between Jamadut and Vishnu. And he realized everything. Oh, so marvelous. To hear even or to call one time Narayan, not knowing Narayan, having no Guru, then I should go to Haridwar, I will have a Guru, bona fide, and I will do the service of Narayan, and I will have. He went to Haridwar with the Guru, he came in the line, worshipping, meditating, chanting the name of Narayan, mantra of Narayan, and he attacked. So not in vain, even he took the name of, it was Namabhas. What we are doing now, all is bhakti abhas, not really bhakti. When we will do anything sadhan for bhav bhakti, then it will be real bhakti. And we'll have to know that annabhilasita shunyam jnana karmarjanavatam anukullena krishnam siranam. Then it will be bhakti sarup siddha bhakti. So you should not bother and worry for that. Your action, all medicine, devotions, action, chanting them will go no impact. It will come to, but not it will take to prayer. Bona fide gurus are good like that.
I cannot find.
You will find Krishna will manage, you will not find. Krishna will manage. If you are sincere. You will have not.
Hare Krishna.
Any disciple of Swamiji has not done any effort to find. He came to door and he gave by the instructions of Krishna. So you should not be very far off. These devotees cannot tell all these things to you. If I had done telling, they cannot tell. I know. So you should see me as a friend, not anti. Whatever they should tell and propaganda do. Let them do. One day they may realize this. And it may be that there will be no time for repentance.
Gaur Premanande.
I have been counseling and just wrote this up.
He wrote and
It's so hard.
right one hand.
You can read yourself. You should read. Oh, yes.
When we become convinced that Krishna is our intimate friend and protector, how happy and peaceful we will be. Just be in love with Krishna, then you'll see how much tranquility you will feel. How you are protected by Krishna, how you avoid insufficiency, how you become pure, and how you make progress in spiritual life. Thank you very much.
He has written Swamiji.
Sri Swami.
Yes.
He has written.
Very good.
But I have written it.
Yes. Very good. This means our intimate friend. Do you want this as a blessing from me? Or I should keep?
To you.
Now I will take prasadam and be ready for. I should be excused if I have given any pain to any devotee. I am in a mood only to glorify their Prabhupada. Who he was. They should really know.
Thank you very much for patiently answering that.
I am also so much glad that I have answered you. And if you believe true, much more.
Gaur Premanande.
Questions?
Yes, thank you.
You and my daughter Anandini, you are satisfied?
Oh, very.
I'm also satisfied.
You are satisfied?
I'm not satisfied.
Yes. See you again and to see you again or if it is far away, from 1 day, 2 days in time to time you can meet. Okay.